Okay, you guys got us? All right, hang tight. We're going to start here in just a second with Davion Mitchell. Let me make sure everybody's got permission to record. Please use the raise hand function if you'd like to ask a question. First question for Davion comes from John Werner with the Waco Tribune-Herald.
Davion, you had 12 assists tonight. You guys just like to see those assist totals? I mean, it seems like that's, Jared had 13 a couple games ago.
Oh yeah, I just give credit to all my teammates. I mean, I just try to make it easy for them, put them in the best position to get those shots, and then they did all the work of just knocking the shots down.
Is that a column y'all really look at though, like assists to turnovers?
Yes, we pay real close attention to that. I mean, especially because we got a lot of people that can score the ball, but it's only one ball out there. So I mean, whoever's the open man gets the shots.
Okay, thanks.
Next question from Kendall Kaut with Our Daily Bears.
Davion, you had John another alley-oop first half. What happened on that play? It was a little different than some of your previous oops with him.
I mean, me and John always worked on it. He actually called me last night, and the same play we did in the game, he told me that he'll be ready for the lob. So I just tried to pay close attention to that, and he was wide open.
And Davion, the defense in the second half looked a little bit better than it did in the first half. What turned around for you all in that second half?
I think coming off the break, we was a little sloppy, a little sluggish. I mean, people ate good at home, so we was kind of slow. But in the second half, I mean, coach got onto us and during the halftime and told us that we got to lock up. That's our identity. We play defense. So yeah.
Next question from Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider.
Davion, you scored 6 points in like the first 3 or 4 minutes and then only took one shot the rest of the game. Is that just flow of the offense or what, and maybe other guys having the hot hand?
Yeah, I mean, most of my teammates had the hot hand. I mean, that's just the flow of the game. I mean, I just credit all my teammates for hitting those shots.
Next question from Kevin Lonnquist with SigmSports.com.
Davion, the one thing I've noticed about your defense today was the fact that they had 24 turnovers, but you forced 14 steals. Not just a product of just hands being active in the lane, anticipating where the ball is going to go with what they're doing offensively, or how would you describe what happened out there this afternoon?
Our defense is made on just putting ball pressure and making them feel uncomfortable. And I think that's what we did mostly in the second half. We made them feel uncomfortable and not get those open shots. And we got a lot of tip passes and a lot of deflections to help us get out in transition to get those easy points.
And then as far as the way that you've been feeling offensively, how would you describe the way your season has been going through 7 games? What do you like about it, and what do you think needs to take the next step?
I think I should get to the free throw line more. I think that's next up for me. I got to be more aggressive getting to the rim like I was last year and stop just debating on the three. So I think the next step for me is, getting to the free throw line.
All right, thank you.
Next question from Andrew Miner with Bears Illustrated.
Hey, Davion, it seemed in the second half you guys moved away, at least at the beginning, moved away from shooting the three and were able to find ways to attack the rim more in the second half. Was that really deliberate on your guys' part, or was that just taking what the defense gave you, mostly with Macio's cut to the basket and on and things like that?
I think it's what the defense was giving us. I mean, they play really high up. That's the way they play defense. I mean, we kind of knew the back doors was going to be open. I mean, there was going to be open shots, and if we punched, it was going to help. So it was going to get wide open shots. And even like closeouts, they had longer closeouts because they had the help. So I think that's what the defense gave us.
Sure, that seemed to open the game up for you. One other question. You guys had 8 turnovers in the first half. That maybe was just, coming off the break, the Christmas break. But you only had 2 in the second half. What helped be the catalyst for that kind of switch to where you only turned over twice in the entire second half?
Like you said before, coming off that break, we was a little sloppy with the ball. I mean, especially me, I was careless with the ball. A couple of turnovers, I shouldn't have turned it over. But in the second half, we kind of turned it around and tried to make better passes and more sharp passes to get our teammates open.
Thanks, Davion.
All right, that's all the questions we have for Davion. Davion, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We'll get up here with Maceo Teague and Coach Drew shortly. Everybody hang tight. All right. We're back with Maceo Teague. Please use the raise hand function if you'd like to ask Maceo a question. Reminder, please keep your lines muted when you're not asking a question. First question comes from John Werner with the Waco Tribune-Herald.
Maceo, what'd you see from Davion out there today? He had 12 assists. Looked like he was really finding guys.
That's Davion. That's something that might be new to you guys. But in practice, he's always downhill. He's coming off ball screens, making reads, and he's a really talented player at getting others involved. And everybody loves playing with him for that reason.
You guys take a lot of pride in making that extra pass to hit the open guy.
Right, because we just know we got to share the sugar. That's one of our themes in the basketball program. We just try to share the sugar with each other and keep everybody involved because we know that everybody can make shots. Everybody's really capable. I watched Davion and LJ go like 90 for 100 the other day from three. And I've seen Jared shoot the ball for like 5 minutes, and he's missed like 4 shots in the 5 minutes that he's gone. We just know that everybody on the team who's shooting the basketball is really talented. And, you guys may not see it, but even Mark Vital, I think he might have went 0 for 2 tonight. But, I saw him shooting yesterday. He was consistently, I promised to God, he was consistently going like 7 for 10 from 3. Like every single time. And that's something that you guys wouldn't expect. But Mark, he's made strides in his game as well. So everybody on the team is capable of making plays.
Thanks, Maceo.
Next question from Stephen Hawkins with the Associated Press.
Maceo, I'm waiting for these Share the Sugar T-shirts. I'm sure you guys are going to have at some point, right?
Yeah, maybe Coach Drew will get them made for us.
Hey, just how important it was. I mean, you had the week for Christmas, and I'm sure you guys all embraced and enjoyed that. How good was it to kind of come back today? You guys weren't overly sloppy. You had a pretty solid game, and you get another one right back tomorrow. So, I mean, how good is this to have a 2-game stretch to kind of get back into it?
It's really good. Everybody on the team wants to go play at the next level, and this kind of makes us feel like we're playing at the next level with a back-to-back game like they do in the NBA. So it's a quick turnaround. We got to stay off our feet, be mature about every situation that we're in, and just be prepared for tomorrow.
Next question from Kendall Kaut with Our Daily Bears.
Maceo, both in the Kansas State game and then today, it looks like you've been shooting more transition threes. What does that give your team the opportunity to have once you take and make those shots?
It just gives us the opportunity for guys to get downhill in one-on-one situations. It gives John a chance to run. When John's running the floor, he gets me a lot of threes, honestly, when he's running as fast as he does. And it just gives us another element when you're taking and making shots in transition because it's hard to guard. Guys are flying at you in transition. Now you can get downhill, make a play for somebody else, and back to the theme of sharing the sugar.
And Maceo, it's worked for you with what hand you go up with, but when you're going up at the hoop, sometimes they'll switch hands kind of at the last second. What hand are you looking to go up with depending on the defense?
Man, it doesn't matter. I had a broken wrist for the spring and summer, so I worked on my left hand a lot, and I made a left hand floater today, and that was my first one of the year. But it honestly doesn't matter which hand.
Next question from Andrew Minor with Bears Illustrated.
Yeah, Maceo, on your backdoor cuts, how are you reading the defense? I know Davion said that they were kind of pressing up, which allowed some of those better looks at the cup. What are you looking for, and how do you communicate that with the guys on the floor?
That's a good question. Honestly, I just look at my man. If he can't see me, then I just cut to the basket if I feel like I have open shot. Mark, he found me off the spin move. Honestly, that was the one pass I didn't think I was going to get. When Mark drove, he spun, and he threw it to me. I thought it was too late, but Mark, he found me, and there was a trust factor there, him getting the ball to me and me catching it. And, just taking any opportunity I can. That's actually a hard question for me. I just cut. That's a hard one for me to explain.
Sure. And then what was the main difference between the first half and the second half on defense, and then also for you guys limiting the turnovers? You only had 2 turnovers in the second half as a team.
I would say we were a little bit rusty playing against some other guys, playing against a different unit, being home for 4 or 5 days. Well, no, it was 4 days. Being home for 4 days, and just getting to compete against a different team for 20 minutes. We stepped it up in the second half.
Sure. Thank you.
Next question from Kevin Lonnquist with SicEmSports.com.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about the fact that, piggyback on what Stephen was saying, but this is going to be 3 games for you guys in 5 days, and really Oklahoma is going to be on the 6th, so 4 in about a week. Plus, what do you want to see from you guys physically handling this kind of stretch, and how the way you guys execute over these next few days?
Hey, like I said, we just got to be mature about every situation. The coaches are doing a great job playing us. Not a crazy amount of minutes. We're taking care of our business. And we're just trying to be fresh for our games tomorrow and whenever else we play. I'm not really sure. I know we play tomorrow. I'm not sure when our next 2 games are after that.
All right. Thank you.
All right, that's all the questions for Maceo. Maceo, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Everybody hang tight. We'll get Coach Drew in here as soon as he's done with his radio interview. All right, next up at the podium, we got Coach Drew. Coach, you want to make an opening statement on the game?
Well, coming back from Christmas, you're always worried how the team's going to play, respond, and got the win. First half, we weren't as good as we wanted to be defensively and in transition defense specifically. And second half, I thought we really got off to a great start and held them scoreless for 7-8 minutes, and that was a big key to the game. And us feeling like we're back playing the way that we're capable of playing. And offensively, when you have 25 assists and only 10 turnovers, I think 2 in the second half, that's something that has been a calling card for this team this far, and that's why we've shot a high percentage. We've shared the ball and gotten good looks.
First question for Coach Drew comes from John Werner with the Waco Tribune Herald.
Scott, you feel like you guys have taken the motto "Share the Sugar" to heart?
Well, definitely. We got great passers and playmakers, and at the same time, a lot of good shot makers. So everyone knows when you're open, you want the ball, and the job of the person with the ball is to share the sugar. So blessed to have a lot of guys who can pass, and then obviously guys who can make shots.
And what was Davion doing out there to spot so many guys today?
He did a great job getting into the paint, and then when they collapsed, he was making right reads, and 12 assists, 4 turnovers. Most coaches will be very happy with that, and we are.
Thanks.
Next question from Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider.
Hey, Scott, what was the difference in the second half? Like you said, it seemed like there were some defensive lapses in that first half, but you really just kind of cranked it up in that second half, outscored them 15-0 in the first 7 minutes.
Well, definitely, they're one of the faster offensive tempos in the country, and coming off Christmas break, probably didn't do a good enough job getting our guys sprinting and getting back in transition. And in Big 12 play, if you don't get back, you're giving up buckets. And Central Arkansas did a good job in beating us down the court first half in several instances and putting us on our heels. And second half, I thought we did a much better job with our adjustments as far as getting back, matching up, and then having them try to score over our length and let our defense kind of impose its will.
And it seemed like in the second half, y'all had relied a lot more on the three-pointers in the first half. Looked like you took it inside more, and particularly with, backdoor cuts, that kind of thing.
Well, and again, I think credit the guys on making good passes, good reads. They did a good job trying to be up the line, and you always try to take what the defense gives you. And I thought John's 13, 11, and 6 for 6 from the field. When the guy's doing well inside, you get him the ball.
Next question from Kendall Kaut with Our Daily Bears.
Scott, sticking with that theme about John, he's now scored twice in a row in games off the low block. Is that something you all are emphasizing to get him the ball, or is that kind of a comfort that's coming with more experience playing for you all?
Well, I think we have him set a ton of ball screens, and he's so good at getting guards advantages, and then he's so good at making defenses pay on his rolls. So we don't post up as much as teams that don't have that in their repertoire. At the same time, you want to take advantage of mismatches and opportunities, and I think John has done a good job running the floor, and I think we've done a better job finding him in early post-up opportunities as well.
It's Adam's first game back from being in the COVID-19 protocols. What did you see and like from his game today?
Well, that was his first collegiate dunk, so he said he was a little nervous up there. So he got that technical. But Adam, for 16 minutes, I thought did a lot of really good things. And as always, he makes shots, makes right reads, right passes, 3 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steals. It's great to get him back.
Next question from Chris Williams with KWTX TV in Waco.
Hey, Coach, do you and the team feel anxious at all to get into Big 12 play since there's so much hype around the conference this year as with most years?
Definitely excited for Big 12 play. At the same time, excited any chance we get to play a game. So this game against Alcorn tomorrow will help us get ready for the Big 12 tournament where you go back-to-back. And part of the reason we scheduled 2 games was to make sure we got a game in. And I think players would much rather be playing games right now than they would be practicing. So hopefully after tomorrow we'll be a better team and ready for conference at that point.
And Coach, obviously these big wins are great, but does any part of you want to see your team in a close game early in the season so you know how they're going to respond and give them a chance to see that?
Well, I don't think we have to worry about that with Big 12 play coming for sure. Night in, night out, we know every one of those games is a grind and usually 1 or 2 possessions.
Next question from Andrew Miner with Bears Illustrated.
Hey, Coach. Jared Butler had 17 points, I believe, all in the first half. What have you seen him improve most on from last year to this year?
Well, first of all, his passing, assist, turnover ratio's been phenomenal. He's really done a good job in sharing the ball, making right reads, and then obviously shooting wise, he's more than capable. He's done a better job finishing at the rim, and his defense has improved.
And for Matthew Meyer, he had a good game tonight, 13 points. There was one part where he made a 3 and then I think had a defensive lapse and got subbed out. What do you need to see from him to improve on in order to be a full, complete basketball player? I think his ceiling's pretty high.
Oh, we agree with you that it definitely has a high ceiling. Big thing is he has improved his rebounding statistically. He didn't show it today with 1 rebound in 14 minutes, but we've been pleased with his rebounding progression. Passing-wise, normally he's someone that does a great job hitting the roller, making the right reads, right passes, and I think his shot selection has improved. He's gotten a lot better at finishing inside, and he doesn't take as many tough shots as he used to take. Defensively, again, I think a lot of guys coming out of high school weren't asked to play as much defense just because they outscored people or couldn't get in foul trouble. And I think Matt's improved his defense each and every year he's been here, and hopefully he'll continue to improve. And you want, as a coach, those two-way guys, and he's definitely much closer to that than when he got here. So he's made a lot of progress.
Sure. Thank you, Coach.
Next question from Kevin Lonnquist with SicEmSports.com.
Scott, I asked Davion this earlier, but they had 24 turnovers, but 14 of those were steals. So when a coach sees that, what does that tell you?
Just what you said. So, I do know when we're able to get live ball turnovers, I mean, that really helps our offense. And I mean, you look at fast break points 23-1. If we're going to turn it over, you want dead ball turnovers and let your defense set. So, but I think consistently we've done a pretty good job most of the year in forcing turnovers. I thought first half, again, we were more passive. We weren't as locked in as Coach Tang likes to say. And I thought second half we did a much better job. Credit the guys for really locking in and returning back to their defensive prowess.
What do you think of your transition offense through 7 games? I mean, it obviously you guys have exploded a lot this year, but what do you think of it at this point?
Well, definitely when you shoot high percentages, you have a lot of assists, not many turnovers, you're excited about that. And that's the easiest way to score is when the defense isn't set up. For us, I think as every coach will tell you, the easiest way are 3-on-2, 2-on-1 fast breaks, and those usually come from turnovers. So if we can keep getting stops and generate turnovers, that definitely helps your offense and keeps you out of scoring droughts because especially in Big 12 play, it's hard to score in half court against the defenses that you face.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, that's all the questions for Coach Drew. We'll be back tomorrow with the post-game media session. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Guys, have a good one. See you mañana.